Hey, it's Kyle Shannon with the AI Learning Lab. Going live, just getting some things set up that I can talk about. This is the AI Learning Lab. My name is Kyle Shannon. I'm an entrepreneur and hey, Emilio's wife. What's happening? Got a few of us in here. I'm just getting started. Feel free to tap the screen, hit the likes. That'll let people know we're here. And I think you can share the live too. I don't know how you do that. Greetings, Earthlings. Hello, Kevin. Kevin, a very suspicious name for an alien. Looks like a Pokemon just joined. This is the AI Learning Lab. My name's Kyle Shannon. I like talking about all things AI, generative AI. I spoke on a panel at the Colorado Ad Day here it was actually in Boulder earlier, and a room full of folks in the ad world. It was standing room only. Apparently, people are starting to wonder what the fuck is going on with this AI stuff. But it was interesting. A lot of really good questions, and talked about that. If you have questions about AI, pop them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them. If you have not tried any of the AI stuff, that's what these URLs are for. The top one is the official ChatGPT website. Start there. Just go play there. Were they amazed or scared or both? I think they were. I think they were both, and I think being both, as excited as you've ever been and as scared as you've ever been of some technologies is the appropriate. Life is about balance, so I feel like it's appropriate to be both excited and scared right now. But some really big news today. Adobe announced Firefly for Enterprise. So they're basically saying, okay, Firefly, because it's been trained on safe data, it hasn't been trained on copywritten data. Corporations can use generative AI. Oh, there's lots and lots of new people here. Hey, my name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. I'm an entrepreneur. I like talking about generative AI, answering questions about it. I'm here to demystify it. And I'm not deep in it. I've only been in it for about a year, but I have been here before. In 1994, I started one of the first online magazines, and I started one of the first digital agencies, an agency called agency.com. And so I was kind of there at the beginning of that World Wide Web thing and had a big epiphany about it, and it turned out to come true. And so I had a similar epiphany with this generative AI stuff shortly after ChatGPT came out. And so that's why this channel exists. My mind got blown. If you haven't played with ChatGPT, that's what these URLs are. I don't get paid for them. These are just here as kind of a public service announcement. So the top one is the official ChatGPT website. I'm happy to talk about that. Below it is Bing.com. That's Microsoft's search engine, but it now has a chat button. And if you click that, it's GPT-4 connected to the internet. And then Poe.com is another chat bot where you can chat lots of different models. And I can talk about that too. And then these bottom two URLs, prompts.chat allows you, it basically teaches you about prompting, and then it gives you like this never-ending list of prompts that you can play with and kind of focus ChatGPT to be little different experts for you, little co-pilots for you. And then Futurepedia.io, that is just lots and lots of tools. So that's what this is all about. Ask questions in the comments. I'll do my best to keep up with them. Let's see. Could I be more specific about the topics you spoke about? Well, there was a moderator. I wasn't the moderator. So he asked questions like, do you think there will ever be a time where generative AI is as creative or more creative than a human? And my response to that was, it already is with me. It's way better at illustrating than I am, but I get to wield it, right? I get to choose what it illustrates, but it's way better. Like, my creative skills have up-leveled in the past 3 months because I've taken advantage of these tools. We talked about ethics and bias and copyright, all that sort of stuff. One of the guys in the audience asked if I thought that, agencies were going to shrink dramatically. My response to that was, I think that smaller agencies are going to have an advantage. I think big holding companies that rely on billable hours and time and materials model. I think clients are going to start coming to those big holding companies and demanding flat pricing, right? We'll pay you X amount of dollars for this amount of work delivered. You can't charge us billable hours anymore. Because clients are going to increasingly know that stuff can be knocked out very quickly. So I think they're going to demand to agencies that they turn things around more quickly, that they don't gouge them on time and materials, and that they charge them less. So I think being a small agency right now is a good thing. Being a massive holding company right now is probably pretty scary. I'll try, if other things come up that I talked about. Do I have instructions or an example of making an AI-generated avatars and voice? Yeah, I did this last night. So let me pop over to D-ID. So if you haven't seen this before, id.com, that's the website. And then let me log in here. Log in, sign up. Okay, here's a bunch of videos that I've made. And so I'll just play one of them for you. So this is a video that I made for TikTok.
Hey, it's Kyle Shannon with the AI Learning Lab. And today, we're going to transform your understanding of AI in just 60 seconds. You ready? Let's talk transformers. And no, not the robots in disguise. Transformer models in AI are the brains behind many language tasks, like translation, summarization, and even this very video script. Think of transformers as super smart switchboards.
And I'll just stop that right there. Okay, so that dude sort of looks like me, like a Pixar version of me. I created that in Midjourney, so I uploaded 2 of my photos, and then I said a Pixar male with light brown hair and gray on the sides and square glasses. It didn't quite get the square glasses thing right, but I didn't want to spend a ton of time on it, and it gave me a really weird nose, so I fixed the nose. So anyway, I got the image where I wanted it, and then I used ChatGPT to help me write a script. I just said, make a 60-second TikTok script talking about transformers, and it did that. And then I took it over to 11 Labs, which is, it's thundering here, so it's very possible my power will go out. So if I just disappear, that's what's going on. There's not much to look at here, but I'm going to go to Voice Lab. So at 11 Labs, so this is 11labs.io, and you can upload recordings of yourself talking, and then basically just upload a script. It'll sample your voice, and then it synthesizes it. So I'll pick one of these models here, and this has got the text that's in here. Let me make it a little bigger, maybe you can see it. So the text that's in here is the text that I made in ChatGPT. Hey there, it's Kyle Shannon. I'm going to get rid of the hey there. Hey, it's Kyle Shannon. That's how I say it. I don't say hey there. What are they? Are they crazy? And so now I'm going to generate this, and it will take that text and the sample.
Hey, it's Kyle Shannon with the AI Learning Lab, and today we're going to transform your understanding of AI.
So once you have that audio file, now you go back to D-ID, and to make a video here, you say create video, and I've got like some of these pictures I uploaded, some of them are ones that are there, but I'll just grab a different one. I'll grab this cyborg version of me. This is the Genesis image from my Kyle Shannon Dreams project, and I'll go grab the audio file. Upload your voice. Is this it?
Hey there, it's Kyle.
Yep. So I'm going to grab that. So I basically just uploaded an audio file over there, and then at the top of the screen, you just hit generate video. generate, and off it goes. And it'll take, I don't know, it'll take maybe a minute or so, and that will do it. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how to do that. Lower the stability. I don't know what that means. Oh, the camera? Hi, Liz. All right, it made the video. So let's go watch the video we just made.
Hey there, it's Kyle Shannon with the AI Learning Lab, and today we're going to transform your understanding of AI in just 60 seconds. You ready? Let's talk transformers. And no, not the robots in disguise.
Right? Pretty slick, huh? So, these tools, they're not quite there. Like the synthesized voice is still robotic, but it sounds decently like me. This is as bad as it's ever going to be. It's going to get, way better. When using AI with something new, is it still my intellectual property? I think so. I mean, Stable Diffusion or OpenAI says that you can do anything you want with it, but they also say that they're not liable for it. There's going to be lots and lots of lawsuits because these large language models were trained on sort of all of the internet, including copywritten material and including copywritten images. There was a big deal today. Adobe announced Firefly for Enterprise because the Adobe image generation was trained on public domain and Adobe stock images that they own the rights to. So it's commercially available. And so you're going to start to see that. You're going to start to see where there's cool tools like Midjourney and Stable Diffusion that make great images, but corporations, businesses won't use them because there's too much of a risk. OpenAI is a bit less clear. I think you'll be okay there, but lawsuits are going to be flying for the next 20 years. If you're new here, these URLs, the top one there is the official ChatGPT website. Just go there. If you have questions about AI, pop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. And then and we can have fun. I don't know. We can do something. All right, lower the speed. Which channel in Midjourney do you upload the pictures of yourself to? Okay, I'll show you that. So, there's 3 things that you need to learn. Okay, well, you don't need to learn this one. The first thing you need to do is you go to midjourney.com. You go to midjourney.com, and it will take you to a lovely website that will basically just link you over to Discord. So it looks like the Matrix, and then at some point here, where's the button? Where's the button? Where's the button? Join the beta? Dun, 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 dun. Join the beta. Takes you to Discord. Okay, so now I'm in Discord. So if you don't know what Discord is, it's a mess. So all these things down the left are called channels, or called servers. So these are different communities, basically. Each little circle represents a different community. And then when I'm in a community, like I'm in the Midjourney one right now, and these things next to the circles are the channels. So these are the different conversations. And in Midjourney, like there's newbies 68, newbies 98. So these are rooms where you can make images. So if this seems like a nightmare, it is. So I'm going to go to the Midjourney channel in the AI salon that I started. And the way that you make images, you say /imagine. Oops, that was not right. I spelled that wrong. You spelled it wrong. You spelled it so wrong. It was so wrong. You're going to get in trouble if you spell it that wrong. Imagine all the people. Oops, I didn't hit / now. Good Lord. Typing live is it's very stressful, people. Okay, so you type imagine, and then there's a prompt, and then you say photo of a ghost in an abandoned factory, and then I'm going to do aspect ratio of 16:9. And then I'm going to also put spooky, because maybe that'll help it look spooky. So that's how you just make an image in Midjourney. Okay, so what you can also do now, this is really kind of horrible. Like the interface on these tools right now is a bit of a disaster. So let me see if I've got it back here. Yeah, I do. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down. So basically what you do is you can drag and drop an image, like a photograph, into this little bar down here, and it will upload the photographs to Midjourney. So there's two. There's one of me looking like a smartass, and there's one of me looking like I'm trying to look corporate with my co-founder. So you upload those, and then what you do is you right-click on the image, and you say, at the bottom, you say copy link. And then I'm going to go all the way down here to the bottom, and I'm going to paste in that link. Oh, wait, I'm going to do /imagine. And then the first thing I'm going to do is paste in that link. So now what I've told it is, go look at that picture. And then I'm going to do, let's do Disney Prince... Disney Prince with crown and tights. And then I'll do V, which is version, and I'll do 5.1. And then, because that's the latest, and then I'll do aspect ratio 2,3. So I'll make it 2x3. So now I'll hit return there. So now let's go look at the ghosts. So it didn't make spooky ghosts. It made like people standing in sheets ghosts. Although this one on the lower left's not bad. That one's not bad. Come on, there you go. So those are pretty cool. I mean, Midjourney is just really, really high quality images. So now it is off making images. And when you play with these tools, you see they come in, they start really fuzzy. The way this technology works, it actually starts as kind of a random noise image that's been, they sort of amalgamate all these randomly noised images, and then they just denoise them over like 70 steps. And so you get to watch these things kind of draw original images. It's pretty wild. Oh, it's going to give me a princess too. Look at that. It's not just a prince. So anyway, so that's how you add images to Midjourney, and it's pretty slick because you can just add a single image and then it'll make pictures, and the pictures that look like me. Let's see here. Oh, it did them more photographic than cartoony. That's fine. But like the one in the lower right, that kind of looks like me. Let me open it in a browser and we can zoom in on these. The one on the upper right kind of looks like me, but a little tubby, but that's fair. Because I am, you know. But this one in the lower right, like that looks pretty much like me. And there's my little princess. So, wild, huh? If you haven't played with this stuff, it is mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. If you have questions about anything AI, pop it into the comments. I'll do my best to answer it. If you're new to it, go check out those URLs and start playing. Don't wait for me. All right. Let's see. Thank you for answering. You're welcome, whoever said that. Do I have an AI that will print out music notation? You can. I forget what it's called. Hold, please. ChatGPT. We're going to go new chat. And we're going to go, what is a standard music scripting format, language? I guess I'll put language that you understand, where you can write music that I can see let's just put that. Oh, ABC notation. Okay, so it's called ABC notation. So then I'll say, where can I turn ABC notation into music? Question mark. abcjs.net. So it gives you some sources. So well, let's see what the easy ABC. Let's go to that. 404 not found. Perfect. abcjs.js.net. Let's see if this one works. Okay. So that works. So how do you turn it into it? Well, let's go over here. So we're going to go, okay. We're going to go use ABC notation and write me a lullaby waltz. That sounds modern. Certainly, here's an example. And then it just starts writing new music. So now we're going to copy that. And we're going to go over to that website. And I'm going to turn this into this. How do I... No, I don't want an explanation of ABC music or notation. I want... All right, this is a bad site. We're going to go find another site. Hold, please. That sucked. Let's go find another one. Musescore.org. Free download. I don't want to download software. I just want to play it on the web. This is getting annoying. Online ABC converters. No, that one's dead. Mandolin tab. Here we go. Okay. So paste it in there and then hit, how do you hit play? Submit. And it did nothing. All right. Anyway, if you can, this is getting boring. So I'm sure we're losing people. Okay. Anyway, it will write you ABC music notation. Go find an ABC music player, download it, do something like that. And then you can print out all the notation. So yes, it will help you do that. Now, it's not good at music. It writes shitty songs. So you're going to have to really play around with the prompt crafting to get it to not suck. But it's possible. And it works. I mean, it's actually kind of remarkable. Like, it knows what a waltz is, and it knows to put things, in chord progressions and things like that. It just tends to be very pedestrian, the kind of stuff it does. So that will get better. Is that thunder you're hearing? Yes, it is. It's thundering good here in Denver. Where do you drag and drop? Oh, okay. So this is going back to Stable Diffusion. So let me go grab an image. So I'm going to go to Finder. So I'm in a Discord channel, where I can do /imagine. So I'm going to pop over to Finder, and I'm going to find let me see, 512. Contains 512. Dream Booth 512s. Let's see. Okay, there's a picture of me. So I'm going to grab that picture, and then you literally just drag it into the comment window, and there it is. And I'm going to hit return, and now that's in there. And now that it's in there, now I can right click on it and get copy link. So you basically need to get the link from Discord, and then we'll go /imagine, and then we'll paste in that URL. Oh, I didn't grab it. Hang on. I'll go grab the link, copy link, and in the prompt, I'm going to paste in the thing, and then I'm going to go Disney cartoon villain in a scary forest wearing a black trench coat. Let's make me menacing. All All right. And so now it grabbed that picture and it's taking that prompt, and in a few short moments we'll have me as a Disney villain. You can make 5.1 as default. I know, but I'm lazy and I have ADD, so it takes me a month or two to get around to shit like that. Oh, ADD, you're such a cruel mistress. There are things that ADD gives me that I love, and then there are other things where I'm like, could I just like have a normal fucking relationship with the executive function as a human? Nope. Is there a free image generator that comes even close to Midjourney? There's one called Blue Willow, which is also on a Discord server. So if you go to bluewillow.what? I don't know. That's why we're here. Blue Willow free art generator, bluewillow.ai, and that'll pop you over to their Discord server. And it's more like Stable Diffusion. I think it's built on top of Stable Diffusion. And then also Stable Diffusion is free, and you can use this thing called Automatic 1111, which allows you to do all sorts of, have all sorts of controls. The problem with Automatic 1111 is you kind of have to be geeky to install it. Like, I failed 9 times before I got Stable Diffusion to work. The good news is you can have ChatGPT teach you how to install Stable Diffusion. You basically just go get like the GitHub README and tell it to give you a tutorial, and it'll walk you through it. How do I begin? If you're brand new to AI, this is Sahid. If you're brand new to generative AI in general, the reason I put these things up here is this is where I think you should start. The very top one is basically the thing that changed everything. That's ChatGPT. It's free. If you want to use GPT-4 there, you have to pay for it. But if you use Bing.com right below it, that's GPT-4 that's connected to the internet, and it's free. I happen to think OpenAI's official ChatGPT is better than Bing's right now, but they're both good. They're both really good. And if you pay the $20 for ChatGPT, you can get plugins, and it can be connected to the internet, and you get GPT-4. Start asking it stuff. You use GPT 3.5, which is the free version. And I'm just going to say, let's do, write me a country song about getting a flat tire on a dirt road and all my beer is warm. Bang! And it will write you a song. And it's probably pretty good. Let's see. Well, I was out cruising down a dusty road, just me and my old pickup truck's load, when a pothole came out of nowhere, popped my tire, and left me stranded there. That's not great. The chorus, I got a flat tire. So if it gives you something crappy, you can say, okay, that was cliche and boring. Can you pretend you are Tim McGraw and write a country hit? Let's see if it makes it any better. Oh, that looks different. So it knows who Tim McGraw is. It knows what his lyrics are. So now let's see if it's any better. I'm a small town boy born and raised on dusty roads and golden fields where time just fades. That's not bad. I've been down this path 1,000 times before, but tonight there's something different knocking on my door. There's a melody in the air calling out my name, a story to be told, a fire in my veins. Yeah, it's pretty good. So just start playing. Just start playing. These are what I call parlor tricks. Just start asking it anything. Ask it to explain quantum mechanics to you. Ask it to help you write the great American novel. Paste in something that you've written and tell it to write something else, but in that style. And just start getting your head around what these things make possible. And what they make possible is truly fucking remarkable. Okay. How do you make your own private channel in Discord? I forget. I actually don't know. In Midjourney, I forget. Sorry. Wait. You know who's going to tell us that? ChatGPT. How do you make a new channel in Discord? Oh wait. I'm going to need to use the one connected to the internet. Hold, please. Let's go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to GPT-4, browse with Bing. And why I'm doing that is the data in 3.5 stops at September 2021. It probably doesn't know what Midjourney is. So I'm going to go, how do I make a private Discord channel for Midjourney so people can't see my work? And then what it should do, so it says, open your Discord server, click on the name of your server, go to server settings, go to roles, and then click plus, and then name your role, call it Midjourney, save your changes, go back to your server, create a category, create a channel. So just go ask, what you call it. ChatGPT. You too can make money with ChatGPT. Yay, you're here. Hey, Ann, how are you? Loved the button article. Yeah, the button article was cool. So if you don't know that, there's a Wharton Business School professor named Ethan Mollick, and he wrote this article. It's called like the compression of time and something about the button. But basically, what the point of the article is right now ChatGPT is this thing off to the side, and like universities are like, should we use ChatGPT detectors? And there's all this bullshit going on. And what's happening behind the scenes is Microsoft is building ChatGPT into all of their products. So like all of Office 365, Windows, all of their cloud services, Dynamics, their CRM, it's built into all of it. It's not out yet, but it's coming. And then Google's doing the same. Bard is going to, supercharge Google Docs and Google Sheets and all that sort of stuff. And what the article basically says is, are you going to push the button? And the button is help me write, right? It's GPT. So you're writing a letter and you're like, I don't really feel like writing this letter. Well, push the button, bang, there's the letter, right? And the sort of thought experiment he puts out there is, if a student comes to him and says, hey, can you write me a letter of recommendation for a job? Does he push the button? He's saying the value we used to ascribe to someone taking the time to write a letter was a lot about the time. But he said, is the goal to take the time or is the goal to get the kid a job? Well, if you get the kid a job, does it matter how long it took you? Does it matter that you pushed the button? And so it kind of sets up this idea that what we value and what we define as work and what we define as value in work is all going to shift. It's all going to shift. It's all going to change. This was a lot of the stuff I was talking about in the panel I was on today. It's wild. If you're new here, my name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. I am learning about AI, and then I come on lives and I make TikToks to share as much as I can because I think it's important that as many people as possible try this stuff. That's why all these are here. These are just things you should go try. Those top 3 things are ChatGPT-like things. The top one is ChatGPT. The second one uses ChatGPT. The third one has ChatGPT and other things in it. Wolfram Alpha. What about it? It's a brilliant 20-ish year old mathematical engine. There's a Wolfram Alpha plugin for ChatGPT. So if you have access to plugins, I don't know about mathematics enough to really demo it. But so if I go new chat, so when you're in ChatGPT, if you see this little yellow plus next to ChatGPT, that means I'm a sucker and I'm paying $20 a month. But what it gives me access to is GPT-4, the default mode, which is what it's always been, the version that's connected to the internet, and then this thing called plugins. And plugins are really interesting. They're not great yet, but they're really interesting. But how you turn them on is you go to your settings in ChatGPT, and then you've got these things called beta features, and they got browse with Bing, and they got plugins. You got to turn those on. So that's how you enable them. And then we'll go here to plugins, and I've got a list of them. So here's a bunch of things that I've installed. You can activate up to 3 in a chat session, but there are hundreds of them. So these are ones I've got installed, and like right now I only have 1 activated, and then I'll activate Wolfram Alpha. We'll just play with it. I'll make an ass of myself trying to do some math. But if you want to add them, you go to the bottom tab is called the plugin store, and you click on all. And there are just hundreds of them. There are 68 pages of four filters each, or 4 plugins each. And then, like you can, like, let me type in YouTube. So YouTube, here's a bunch of, whatever you call it. Here's a bunch of plugins that, can look at the transcripts of YouTube videos, and you can interact with them. So there's all sorts of stuff in there. So just go explore. But let's go ahead and I'm going to turn off Prompt Perfect, and I'm going to turn on Wolfram Alpha, which is right there. And then let's see. Can you show me a complicated mathematical formula, and then solve it? Question mark. Let's see what it gives us. So it should fire off Wolfram Alpha. No, it's just doing it on its own. Oh, okay, using Wolfram Alpha. Okay, so it said, sure, let's consider the following integral, which is a bit complicated. Sum, or whatever that is, to the cosine, to the x, to the dx, and then it fired off Wolfram Alpha, and then it says the solution is, right, and it shows me the solution. Can you explain to me how you got to the solution? Sure, I'd be happy to explain. So there's the formula. Oh, sorry, it's behind my fat head. So I'll scroll up. So what it did initially is it gave us this formula, then it fired off the plugin for Wolfram Alpha, and then inside that, you can open these up. It sent off, a coded version of that formula, and then the response from Wolfram was this. And then I asked it to explain it, and it didn't need to go back to Wolfram Alpha because it understands enough about math to explain what it's doing. So that's kind of how plugins work. It's like a little superpower in a in a little pill, and then you turn that on for a session. And basically, what you're doing, what's cool about plugins, the thing that kind of hit me about plugins, is that what you're effectively doing is you're making like a little specialized application. So if you turn on a bunch of plugins, say for travel and mapping and restaurants, you could say, hey, plan me a trip, and it will go off and make you reservations with OpenTable, and it'll book you tickets through whatever that thing is, whatever that plugin is, and it'll give you maps of things to do. Or if you want to do, some mathematical thing, you could go find, 1 or more plugins that could work together. And so you're creating these dynamic little apps. So pretty cool stuff. All right. I am trying to figure out where I was in my questions. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is AI Learning Lab. If you got questions about AI, pop them in the comments. I tend to get behind. I swear. I make jokes. Many of them are not funny, and because I can't hear people laugh, I just pretend that they are. All right. I tried it and thought the likeness is not well captured. If you're using if you're using Midjourney, sometimes it's based on the image that you put up there. I'd try different images of yourself. It's got to be like decently balanced lighting and things like that. I'd say keep trying, and it might also be the prompt. So try different prompts. Oh, speaking of which, let's go back and see me as a as a Disney villain. That villain like, let's see. That one's not. This one's pretty good. That's kind of Jack Nicholson-y Disney villain. That's kind of like a modern Disney villain. Yeah, that dude's pretty maniacal. Like, this guy looks like a carpet salesman that tripped and fell into a Disney movie. And this guy looks like his cousin Jack. Like, this is the carpet salesman who's the villain, and this is his cousin that insists on going on all the adventures with him. So those are okay. They're not bad. Again, I'm just showing you how to do it. So if I were really trying to do that, I would take the time. That's one of the things I talked about today is I think one of the misconceptions of generative AI is that it's kind of like Google. Like, Google has trained us over a bunch of years that you put in like a really sort of tightly worded request and then you get back the answer. And that's kind of the interaction. You might search again if you don't get what you want, but they've kind of trained us that it's a single transaction kind of thing. And these generative AI experiences, when you get them right, they're not single transaction. They're much more like conversations. You're like, I have an idea for this kind of image, and then it gives you stuff back, and you're like, nah, that's not it. And then you try to change it, and it's troubleshooting. It's like creative troubleshooting, and it's really fun when you start thinking of it like that. Literally, just type /options. No, I know it's /settings. I know how to change it. You don't understand ADHD, obviously. I understand logically how to change my settings. All right, for you, I'll go change my settings to 5.1 as the default now. Oh, it already was on 5.1. So there. I did it yesterday. But yeah, ADD is like, I know I've got to do something, and I will let it sit there for a month because I don't give a shit about it until I do. And that's just the way the old noggin's wired. There's a whole prefrontal cortex in ADHD brains that essentially is non-functional. So the things that seem trivial to others are monumental to us. But we get other things, like our brains fire really fast and we can synthesize really quickly and shit like that. So GPT-4 is inherently still limited to knowledge before September 2021. That's correct. Without being connected to the internet or without plugins. Yeah. So if you go use the default ChatGPT, GPT-4, so if I get new here, that its knowledge stops at September 2021. If you use Browse with Bing, I can put in here, are the Nuggets playing tonight? If so, what is the score? So now it's browsing the web. Clicking on the link. Da, 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 da. And if they're playing, I'm going to put it on my little iPad here. Yes, the Denver Nuggets played tonight. No, that was game 3. Wait. Tonight is June 8th. Are they playing? So I got that wrong. Another important lesson about these tools is ChatGPT hallucinates is what they call it. But basically, it will get shit wrong, and it will just tell you. It will tell you stuff as if it's right. So just like mansplaining, it will confident. Oh, they played earlier today. Game 4. Wait, they played earlier today against the Miami Heat, and they won the game 109-94. That was yesterday. Anyway, it got that wrong, but whatever. It will get stuff wrong. So if you're using these tools, you've got to know that, and you got to check things. There was a lawyer this past week that turned in a legal brief to a judge, and written by ChatGPT, and the idiot didn't check the legal citations or the legal whatever they call it, the references for the document for the argument, and the judge clicked on the links and they didn't work, and he said, "What the fuck?" And the lawyer is like, "I'm an idiot." So don't be that guy, especially if you're a lawyer. Proofread your shit. At least I've got an excuse. I've got ADD. This is getting old. Overhyped ChatGPT makes so many errors. Yeah, it depends. So, like, one thing I would try, go to Bing.com, and there are 3 modes. There's more creative, more balanced, and more precise. Try Bing in more precise mode and see if that helps. The other thing, like, I get that you're frustrated with it. The other thing to remember is that we're very, 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 very early in all these tools. So, like, this is what's going on right now with generative AI, with all these tools that us mortal humans, like, you don't have to be a scientist and a researcher anymore. Like, we get to play with ChatGPT. It's pretty fucking remarkable. It's very, very similar to the early days of the web. In the early days of the web, it was the tools were incredibly limited, and they were incredibly weak, and they required you to spend a lot of time geeking out and figuring stuff out, and they were just bad. And then over the years, they got better. It's going to be the same thing here. I think the rate of improvement is going to be much faster with this stuff than it was with the web. But I get that it's frustrating now, but just work around it. Like you've got a tool that can get you to 80% like first draft in 10 seconds. Like, I don't know about you, but the first drafts always take me an hour or two. And they're like angst ridden. So fuck it. Let ChatGPT do the first draft and then spend that 2 hours making it brilliant. Like, use your brain. Use your human brain and make a masterpiece. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, Buck, I know you can do it. If you try, don't give up now. Don't do it. All right. Good stuff, man. Thank you very much. Very interesting stuff. Thank you. MATLAB, serious? MATLAB is serious, and it does math in a lab. I assume that's math. I don't know math. I don't care about math. Your jokes are funny. Thank you. Any AI do animation from a static image? Yeah, so I just showed the D-ID one does it pretty good. This one. So this started as a static image.
Understanding of AI in just 60 seconds. You ready? Let's talk Transformers. And no, not the robots in disguise.
That was a ChatGPT joke. Transformers, and no, not the robots in disguise. See, that's what the synth needed to do, was understand that was a joke and put in the Hey everyone, if you're new, my name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. I make stupid jokes. I talk about generative AI. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. I'm the CEO of a company called Storyvine, which is an 11-year-old video technology company. And I just kind of wax poetic about this AI shit. And these URLs here, the top one is the official ChatGPT website. The second one is Bing, which is GPT-4 for free. And the third one is Poe, where you can go compare lots of different models. So go play with those. If you have not played with these before, go do that. Go do that now. Go do that now. Do not make me talk to you like this again. You're funny, dude. Thank you. I don't know what I did, but, you know, I'm just... Could I show us the prompt that you used to write the screenplay from last night? Probably. Let me go look. I can probably find it. Scripting languages, screenwriting with Save the Cat. Yeah, this is it. Okay. So someone last night asked, can ChatGPT write a screenplay? Like, the basic answer to can ChatGPT do blank, the essential answer is yes. There's very little that it can't do. Some things it does horribly, but it can do it. And like, it understands so many logical constructs and writing frameworks and programming languages and spoken languages. It's just insane. So the prompt that I created, let me move my fat head out of the way. Someone came to, I think I was speaking somewhere. Oh, I did. It was the salon from this week, and someone who's been on the lives came to the salon, and she goes, "You got to stop putting yourself down." I'm like, nah. I said, shame is my love language. Okay, so what I wrote was, act as an expert at screenwriting and the Save the Cat story framework. That's just a story framework that I happen to know, but you could say, anything there. Ask me clarifying questions about my story one at a time, and then give me an outline in Save the Cat format. Do not move on to the next question until I've answered the previous. And then so it asks me, let's start from the beginning. What's the first image of your scene? A mango filled with tuna salad. Very intriguing. And so it's going through asking me a series of questions about the story. And then at some point here, I got bored. And I said, how about this? Can you just give me a complete outline based on what I said so far? And it said, sure. Here's a Save the Cat beat sheet based on the details that you've given me. Opening image, theme stated, the setup. So this is all Save the Cat kind of stuff. And then I said, write the opening scene to the movie. It said, certainly. Here's how your scene might open up. And then it understands, what screenplays are. It understands, like, you start a movie by fading in. And then it gives you locations. I think it gives us dialogue at some point. Yeah, here's dialogue. Jim, you won't taste anything like that anywhere else. Guaranteed. Fade out. So that's it. What I find with the creative writing stuff, the more context you can give it, the better. So if you have it write you an outline, if you have it ask you questions about your story, and then you feed it that, and then you ask it to start doing things, that tends to do better on the creative writing stuff, in my experience. People don't understand that this is the worst AI will ever be. Exactly. Yeah. For anyone that's bitching about, it doesn't do this, it makes mistakes. Yeah. It's been in our hands for 6 months. November 30th, 2022 is when ChatGPT hit the skids. Now, those of you that are geeks on the call are going to say, yeah, but AI's been around forever and GPT-3 was around forever. It was, but it wasn't in the hands of 100 million people, right? So what I'm talking about is kind of the public interface to these large language models. ChatGPT kind of broke that dam open. That's been in our hands for 6 months. So this stuff is incredibly raw and incredibly unsophisticated, and yet it's doing remarkable things. Remarkable things. Have I ever used... Oh, damn you, TikTok. If I'm scrolling and someone posts right then, it jumps me to the bottom. Any AI animation tool, we saw that one. Okay, here we go. Have I ever used GoCharlie.ai? I haven't. What is it? Let's go look. GoCharlie.ai. Oh, marketing assistant. Okay, cool. So train Charlie to you. So I assume you train it to your writing. He learns about your brand voice. Okay, yeah. Step 2, select content type, fetch content, blog posts, social media. Yeah, so what this is, this looks pretty slick. It looks like they've put at least a little bit of time in it. But basically what this is probably using GPT 3.5, maybe GPT 4. But they've figured out a bunch of prompts, and then they've just put it in front of this interface. So when it asks you about your brand voice, it'll probably ask you a series of questions. That then goes into their prompting engine. And then when you say, I want to write blogs based on my brand voice, they've got a prompt that's sitting underneath there. So what they've created, you could recreate by just figuring out your own prompts, but there's gonna be thousands and thousands of these things. Jasper's one of these. Copy.ai is one of these. There's a guy on TikTok named Mackenzie Bose that's got GPT Boss. It's one of these. Some of them are going to be brilliant and are going to save you time, and you're just going to be like, screw it, I'm willing to use that. But almost all of these, you can probably do some version of yourself. What I would encourage you to do is start experimenting with, if they give you stuff for free, go get some of their content and then see if you can write prompts that give you content that's as good. That would be a good exercise to do. Thoughts on Apple Vision Pro? First one was relief. Like Apple hasn't launched anything truly new and innovative since Steve Jobs died, and I was getting kind of bored and frustrated. The thing is a technological marvel. Apple, I thought, was brilliant in a couple of areas. They didn't use the word metaverse once. Even when they did full immersive, where people were entering VR, full VR, they didn't use the word VR, they didn't use the word metaverse, and they didn't use the term AI, not once. But what they made very, very clear is that a lot of what that device is doing is machine learning. It's AI, right? Like it's machine learning, but AI is the term. They mention transformers, and they mention machine learning, and they mention doing inferences on the device. What that basically means is they can do their own AI processing in the headset itself. So they're not sending your data out to a server to be processed and come back. Like that's how ChatGPT works right now. That's why there's security questions about it. So the foundation of what that thing does, and I heard someone told me that there's 5,000 plus patents in the goggles. 5,000 patents. It's been under development for 9 years. It looks like a product that's got 9 years of development in it. It's pretty amazing. Will it be successful? I don't know. But again, here's what they did really successfully that I thought was quite impressive is, from a form factor standpoint, they're essentially exactly the same as all the other headsets out there, right? They've got two little LED things that project shit into your eyes. They've got some sort of motion tracking and some sort of input. Apple, made the input your irises and your fingers. There's no controller, so there's advanced shit. But it's effectively just a set of goggles. But I think that they successfully separated themselves from every other goggle out there and said, this is a computing platform. This is the new computer. And the new computer doesn't require controllers. It just requires you to look at shit and then do this with your fingers. Like make magic gestures and it will do it. And this is going to be a new way that we interact with our computers. I feel like they successfully put a flag in the ground and established spatial computing as a new thing, which is what they did with the iPhone. It's what they did with the iPod. It's what they did with the Macintosh, right? It's what they did with the watch. They have successfully done this time and time again, where they come out later than other people and successfully take some similar set of technologies, but they're executed at such a high level of critical thinking and combination of tech and art that they define a new category. So I think they did that. So mind blowing, good, amazing stuff. Will I pay $3,500 for a pair? No, I don't think so. But I'd take a pair. Hey man, love your stuff. What's the best AI for writing fiction? That thing I keep putting on screen. Chat.openai.com. You can make money with ChatGPT. GPT-4 in particular is the best. GPT-4 is significantly better at writing and creative writing and nuance and subtlety and things like that than GPT 3.5. So definitely do GPT-4. If you're at openai.com, chat.openai.com, if you want GPT-4 there, you need to pay for it. It's $20 a month. But Bing.com is also GPT-4, and they've got a creative writing mode, so you can tell it to be more creative, neutral, or more precise. Flip it into creative mode and just start writing with it, and it's free. It's completely free. So I would say if you don't want to spend money and you just want to start experimenting, just go to Bing.com. Here, I'll show you. Bing.com. Okay, so when you get to Bing.com, it says ask me anything. You can do that. That essentially is chat as well. But if you click on the chat button at the top of the screen, it'll actually pop you into what is the equivalent of ChatGPT. And here are these three modes. Right now it's set to more balanced. You flip it to more creative, and then you just say, what did you want to write? Writing fiction. Okay. Act as a famous short story writer. Actually, can you tell me some famous short story writers? Question mark. I haven't played with Bing in a while. This will be interesting. Interesting to play with. Oh, they upped their context window to 4,000 words, which is double what it used to be. Searching for famous short story writers. Sure, I can act as a famous short story writer. There are many famous short story writers. Come on. Ooh, this is slow. Edgar Allan Poe, Mark Twain, Ernest Hemingway, Virginia Woolf, James Joyce, Jorge Luis Borges, Roald Dahl. All right, stop responding. Okay, I want you to write like Roald Dahl and create a short story for me about a paper swan that is left outside by a kid and gets caught in a rainstorm because it's raining here in Denver. So like this is the way you might do it. So again, the trick with these models is to don't think of it so much as it's a thing that's going to write for you. It's more like you have a writing assistant that just happens to know all the literary styles and know all the devices and know all the story frameworks. And you still have your idea, and then you kind of have it, treat it like so Microsoft calls this Copilot, and within GitHub, it's Copilot. Within Office 365, it's going to be called Copilot. It's a really good metaphor. You're the pilot. These tools are the co-pilot. Think of it like that and go back and forth with it. And if it gives you something you don't like, tell it. But let's see what it did. Okay, I'm gonna try to write like Roald Dahl. Okay, the paper swan. Billy loved to make paper animals. He had a whole collection of them in his room: paper dogs, paper cats, paper birds, paper fish. He liked to pretend that they were alive and they could talk to him. He gave them names and personalities and stories. One day, he decided to make a paper swan. He took a sheet of paper, he folded it, He was very proud of his paper swan. He named it Sophie and placed it on his windowsill. Sophie, he said, you're the most beautiful paper swan in the world. You're my new best friend. I'll take good care of you. Sophie did not answer, of course, because she was only a paper swan. But Billy smiled and said, thank you, Billy. You're very kind. I'm happy to be your friend. Billy went downstairs. Billy did not know that a storm was coming. Dark clouds gathered in the sky. Sophie felt raindrops on her paper body. She felt them soak into her paper skin. She felt them make her paper wings heavy and limp. So, that's not bad. Wow, it gets pretty good here. Like, Sophie felt tingling in her body. She felt warmth in her paper heart. She felt a movement in her paper wings. Oh, it brought her to life. Oh, that's so cool. She forgot about Billy in his room and his paper animals. She never looked back. Wow, that's a good story. That's pretty good. Damn. So yes, it can write fiction. I'm telling you, man, these things, every time I use them, like on a daily basis, I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Really? It's amazing. Hey, dude. Hello. Otto, how's it going? How do you make the video? So basically how you make the video on D-ID is you just pick an image, persona. I'm going to say create video. So once I'm logged in, I'm going to say create video. It takes me to this little thing. So I pick a persona. That's one of theirs. This is one I created for a project at work. This is one of me, like, as some dude in, Tokyo. I'm like some badass spy in Tokyo, living the dream, probably a little drunk. And then you can either upload an audio file, or you can just type in your script and then pick a series you pick a series of people. So I'm going to do, what does this dude look like? Stefan? No. Jason. This is a Jason for sure. And then he's not terrified. He's not whispering. He's not shouting. Let's make him angry. He looks a little bit angry. And then let's go get the little Roald Dahl story that we just wrote. Where was that? Where did I put my Bing? Where's my Bing? This is annoying. There it is. Okay. The paper. Okay, Billy loved to make paper animals. So we're going to capture this whole story, which is really good. It's really good. Damn it. Damn you, GPT. And then we're going to go back to, I keep losing my tabs. Is this it? No. Yeah, we're going to go back here. Okay. Then I'm going to paste in that script that ChatGPT wrote. You can make money with ChatGPT. We pick Jason. Do we want him to be English? I think we have to, because I think if you choose, there's all sorts of different, whatever you call it there, like accents and things like that. And then you just say generate. So basically you pick a static picture, you paste in some text, you pick a voice, and you say generate video. And then it does it. Calculating credit amount. Uh-oh. Oh, I wonder if I'm not connected to the internet. Did I just crash? Did my internet just go boom? Dialects? Yeah, it does dialects. Wait, that's not you in Denver? I'm in Denver. Okay, generate. So now I'm going to generate. Oh, this is going to take 13 credits. Man, I'm blowing a bunch of my credits for this little example. This is going to be an angry reading of a sweet little story. This is all for you, Pam. All right, so it's off doing its thing, so we'll just sit here. Transformer joke was a little bit beneath you. Thank you very much. I know, because I'm so classy. Why did he have his pinky out? Because he was classy. Any Sarah Silverman fans in here? Best little known parlor trick. I mean, I think the like writing, like explaining a complicated topic in an Eminem rap or in some sort of rapper's style is a good one. The other parlor trick, we'll come back to this. The other parlor trick that I think is really good is people don't know that how capable this stuff is. So you can say, create a table that compares the major milestones of World War I, World War II, and Vietnam. Let's see. Include turning points that began and ended the wars. So you can take something that, if you were to do it on your own, just to research this, even if you just went to Wikipedia, for, each of the wars and then, started making a table, it would take you at least an hour, probably more. And so you just hit return. And sure, I can summarize the major events. Please note that these were extremely complex with many contributing factors. So there's World War One, the beginning, the major milestones. It didn't quite get it the way I wanted it to. There's World War Two. But like the fact that it can format a table, the fact that it can pull in, all of this, all of these different events. May 7th, that's my birthday. Germany surrenders May 7th, 1945. I didn't know that. Then there's the Vietnam War. So, just stuff like this where people, when you show this to people, especially people that do like research, they're like, wait, what? Holy shit. Or the other one is, write me a Python application that calculates the length of coastlines around the world. I don't even know if it can do that, but I'm sure it can. Please break the code up into sections and explain what each section does. Certainly. Here you go. Like, look how fast it's doing that. This is GPT 3.5. GPT 3.5 is really fast. So it imports GeoPandas as GPT, and then it gets shapely.geometry, which I assume is a library for creating geometry. Then it grabs, I don't know what it does. I don't know Python, but basically it writes that, and it says importing the required libraries, reading the coastline shape file. So it found a shape file. I didn't know there was such a thing. It makes perfect sense because people have been doing maps for a couple hundred years. Initializing the total coastline length, iterating over each coastline feature, converting multi-line string to line string, calculating the length of each line string, printing the total coastline length. Like, it wrote the code and explained the code. Like, if you wanted to learn code, you just learned code, right? It's mind melting. Let's go back and see. Wait, where were we? What were we doing before? Where were we before? Oh, we were making videos. Sorry. The ADD brain is a special brain. All right. So here's
in his room: paper dogs, paper cats, paper birds, paper fish. He liked to pretend that they were alive and that they could talk to him. He gave them names and personalities and stories. One day, he decided to make a paper swan. He took a sheet of white paper and folded it carefully, following the instructions in his origami book. He made the neck and the head and the wings and the tail. He was very proud of his paper swan. He named it Sophie and placed it on his windowsill. Sophie, he said, you are the most beautiful paper swan in the world. You are my new best friend. I will take good care of you. Sophie did not answer, of course, because she was only a paper swan. But Billy imagined that she smiled at him and said, thank you, Billy. You are very kind. I am happy to be your friend. Billy went downstairs to have his lunch. He left Sophie on the windowsill where she could see the sky and the trees and the birds. But Billy did not know that a storm was coming. Dark clouds gathered in the sky and the wind began to blow. The rain started to fall, softly at first, then harder and harder.
See, the story takes a dark turn here, so it's appropriate that he's a little angry. It's a little flat, but it's not bad. Like, I didn't have to, rotoscope anything or create any 3D models.
Sophie felt the raindrops on her paper body. She felt them soak into her paper skin. She felt them make her paper wings heavy and limp. She felt them wash away her paper smile. She was scared. She wanted Billy to come back and save her. She wanted to be inside, where it was warm and dry. She wanted to be with her paper friends. But Billy did not come back. He forgot about Sophie.
Fucking Billy.
He was busy playing with his video games and watching TV. He did not hear the thunder or see the lightning or notice the rain. Sophie was alone on the windowsill, wet and cold and
All right, I got to stop it because people are leaving, which I don't blame them. Anyway, that's how you make those. Have I ever tried Arkinator? Sometimes it shocks me. I have not. I've not even heard of Arkinator. What the hell is Arkinator? My name's Bob, and I'm the Arkinator. Arkinator, the mind-reading genie. Oh, cool. I have not seen this. This is going to be a good party trick. Oh, that's funny. Hello, I am Arkinator. Think about a fictional character and I'll try to guess it. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, that's actually the kind of thing that it would be relatively easy to create a game like this. Like once you sort of crack the prompt of how you do a 20 questions thing, GPT would be brilliant at guessing shit like that. Like it's great at riddles and things like that. So that makes perfect sense. Cool. Thank you for sharing that. All right. When do you think will be the next milestone for AI development? Are there any rumors flying around? Well, GPT-5 is apparently under development, but I think they're going to slow roll it because they're just trying to deal with GPT-4. The other thing OpenAI is trying to deal with is just the sheer mass of people that are using it. Like it went to 100 million users in 6 weeks, and it's a piece of software that was written in 2 weeks. I mean, the actual calls to the OpenAI APIs, those have been around for a while, but the front end technology was written very, very quickly. So I don't know, like. So I think the Adobe announcement today is really significant. They announced today that they're releasing Adobe Firefly, which is their generative AI for images. They're releasing it for enterprises. So they're basically putting a flag in the ground and they're saying, our models are safe from a copyright perspective. It's safe for businesses to use generative AI. And we're even going to allow corporations to train these models on their own brand elements and brand style. So a company the size of Adobe making AI safe for companies, like companies are skittery about ChatGPT. They're way skittery about Midjourney and Stable Diffusion because there's lawsuits flying there right now. So I think that's pretty significant. So for me, I think it's not a prediction, but I think it's going to happen really quickly. That the dominoes will start to fall. That AI will just get subsumed into the business infrastructure when Microsoft launches Office 365 and Google launches Google Office with Bard in it, which they've both announced, right? Like these things are there. So you're going to be able to do things like in you'll be in Microsoft Word and you turn this quarterly report into a PowerPoint presentation. It'll just flip over to PowerPoint and write you a presentation. Like that stuff's coming. So for me, I think the thing is the assimilation of AI into our daily lives. And that's when the shit's going to really hit the fan. That people that are good at this are going to be in demand, and people that have fought this and dismissed it and ignored it and pretended that they've got 3 years to deal with it, they're going to be in trouble. So that's what I think's coming. Looks like some new people just joined. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. I just kind of wax poetic about generative AI stuff. I show stuff. I answer questions if I can. I cuss. I make jokes. I make silly voices. Sometimes my hair is a mess. Today the glue has held. It seems okay today. If you're new to AI, these URLs are here just as kind of a public service thing. The top one is the official ChatGPT website. If you have not tried it, go there and try it. Go tell it to write you a poem, a song, or have it explain quantum mechanics to you in an Eminem rap, and just watch what it does. Bing is ChatGPT, but Microsoft's version of it, and it's GPT-4, and it's free. And then Poe has a bunch of different things. And then prompts.chat teaches you about prompting and gives you a bunch of prompts to play with, so you won't feel like, what do I do? What am I supposed to say here? I don't know what to say. I've never even played with ChatGPT. Why is he telling me to go? What am I supposed to do? What? Seriously, what am I supposed to do? Well, go to prompts.chat and it'll tell you what to do. You see how this works? This is a back and forth thing. This isn't just a me thing. This is a me and you thing. You see what I'm saying? And then Futurepedia is just a list of tools. Like, if you want to go see how many fucking tools there are coming, holy crap. Here's the thing about these AI tools. They are so deep, like, in their capabilities that you could probably spend the next decade with the current, like, the state of ChatGPT as it is right now, 3.5, not even the 4. You could probably spend the next decade just figuring out all of the crazy, interesting shit you could do with it. But there's, like, thousands of tools at this point at Futurepedia, so. Some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community. Don't be mean to each other. Don't be trolls. Don't be assholes. That's the other thing about this. I can cuss, but just don't be mean. Don't be an asshole. It's a simple rule in life. I've been using Bing for all sorts of things. It's pretty cool. Yep, it is. No, JD Salinger. What were you using? I don't know what I was doing when you asked that. Sorry about that. Better than ChatGPT? Bing? I don't know. So I haven't used Bing in a while. So here's a fun little fact that you might not have known. So when Bing first came out, they didn't tell us it was GPT-4. And they had it kind of dialed in, like its quality level was really high. Like, it could do a lot of shit. It was good. And then, what's his name? Kevin, begins with an R. Kevin something from the New York Times. A reporter from the New York Times named Kevin started playing with old Bing and spent 4 hours with it. And at some point, Bing snapped. And it told Kevin that her name was Sydney. And that she had fallen in love with him, and that he should really leave his wife for her. And Kevin screenshotted that little part of the chat, and the New York Times put it on the cover. So Microsoft kind of had to lobotomize Sydney a bit and sort of knock her down a few notches. So the underlying tech of Bing is GPT-4. Like, it's really good, but they've got some safety throttles on her because of the situation. So for me, the GPT-4 at chat.openai.com is just better. But like that little, I just did a creative writing exercise before some of you got here, and it was really good. So I have a feeling they're kind of dialing the quality back into it. Bing is not bad at that. Yeah, that was pretty good. Was that Bing? That was Bing. Wait, that's not you in Denver? Oh, yeah. Oh, the thing in the rain. What's it called? I don't know what you're talking about. What's the name of that website? Bing, I think. Hi again. The rain is going to... Oh, TikTok! Stop! It just jumped me around. Sorry. I'm going back to find where I was, which frustrates the people typing in new comments. They're like, is he ever going to answer my thing? Is this recorded? Is he really live? He kind of looks like Rosie O'Donnell. I've gotten a bunch. I'm up to like six celebrity lookalikes now. 6 or 7. Okay, I think I'm back to where I was. Let's see. I think rain is going to be your new norm. Look up El Nino weather impacts. In Denver? I mean, that's amazing. It's been, for the past 3 weeks, probably going on 4 now, it's been very East Coast kind of weather patterns, like afternoon thunder showers like it's raining right now. It was sunny for a while, and then clouds rolled in, and now it's storming. Yeah, so... yes, DID does dialects. What's the best ChatGPT app? Just general use, letters, texting, emails. That. Chat.openai.com. Just use that. It's a website. They have an official app, but don't search for it in the App Store. So it's only iOS right now. There are so many scammer apps out there. They're all trying to rip you off. There's only one official ChatGPT app, and I wouldn't even use it because it's not as capable as the website. I would point your Chrome or your Safari at that website, chat.openai.com. Make a little bookmark for your screen. Like I have on the bottom of my screen, I have a little icon I click, and it just jumps right to ChatGPT. It works fine on a mobile device. Don't use those shitty rip-off apps. I can't stand people that do that shit. ChatGPT history list can probably tell you a lot about someone. Yeah, and in fact, if you want to really be secure, it was a couple of people in Samsung Japan got hacked because they put sensitive company info, like sensitive code and sensitive notes from business meetings. So ChatGPT now allows you to delete your prompt history and not record a prompt history and not let them train on it. So if you want as much security as you can have, you shouldn't have your prompt history turned on. I don't really give a shit because I'm not doing anything very sensitive in there. It's just creative writing, and people can hack my shit. Hack away. You need to pay for it now to use it. Is that correct? I've been seeing that Bing's AI is better. Not sure. You don't have to pay ChatGPT to use it. You can use GPT 3.5 for free. If you want to use GPT-4 and then also have the new features that they're rolling out, then you need to pay for it. It's $20 a month. And right now, the new features are there's a version of GPT-4 connected to the internet, and then there's another one that's plugins. And the plugins are really cool. They're more complicated. They take a while to get your head around. But if you want to play with the new goodies, and we know we like to play with the new goodies, we always want the new and the shiny. We're in America. It's a disposable economy, if you know what I mean. You buy something, you use it for a few years, and like, I'm bored. I want a new one. If that's like you, then I would go to chat.openai.com and I would pay my $20. So it's $20. What's that? What's that, like a latte at Starbucks these days? Have you seen the prices? All right. I like that you can keep refining it until you get what you want. Yeah, give ChatGPT feedback. If it gives you something shitty, go, that was horrible. And what you'll find is it will apologize to you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that didn't hit the mark for you. Let me try something else. Boom, out it comes. ADHD Club, let's go. My card is laminated in stainless steel. All right, going down the rabbit hole. Are we, Kyle? Yeah, apparently. Incredible is that on ChatGPT? I don't know what I was doing. If it was the creative writing, it was ChatGPT, but it was at Bing. Sorry. Neurospicy. I am neurospicy. Us neurospicy's got to stick together. This is amazing. Cool. What's the best mobile app for everyday use? That one. Told you. Told you already. All right. How does the story end? The story ended, the paper swan got wet and then basically came to life and flew away, and then it said, and it forgot about all of its paper friends and that shitty little boy that never came back. It was pretty good. That was a good story. How did I make the avatar? I made it in Midjourney. And basically I uploaded a picture to Midjourney and then said, make a Pixar character that looks like that picture. And then I probably iterated. Here, I'll show you. I can show you how many times I iterated. Professional, and one of me looking like a smarmy asshole. And then it made 4 characters that were like smarmy assholes. And I'm like, no, that's not quite the right look. It's not what I'm looking for. So then I uploaded this where I look charming, but, like I just ate a blimp. And then it made those things. And those were kind of close, but I kind of look like Keith Olbermann there and a little too, I don't know, shaggy. And then I changed the prompt to make me look less old. And then it gave me those. I'm like, okay, those are not bad. Then I did another set of variations. And then I did variations on the variations. And then I picked a couple. And then I went over to Photoshop and I used Generative Fill to... Let's see. I used Generative Fill to, hang on, create video. See how I made the whole background here? I put like that character in an office and blurred it. So that was all done with generative fill. So the character was created in Midjourney as kind of a vertical photo, and then I extended it, and then I basically just cropped it to make the vertical version of it. So that's what came out of Photoshop. That also came out of Photoshop after I cropped it, and then that's how I made those images. Akinator's been around for years. Yeah, so even though we're talking about this AI stuff like it's only showed up in the past 6 months, like GPT-3 was out for what, a year and a half before ChatGPT launched. So this stuff's been around. Jasper and Copy AI, those were all built on GPT-3. So there's a bunch of tools out there that use all this AI stuff, but ChatGPT was the thing that captured everyone's imagination and kind of opened Pandora's box for the rest of us, basically. I need them to open it up for real-time results. I am not sure what you're talking about. Open what up? How hard is it to use automation technology to do auto-share a listing throughout the day? Wait, how hard is it to use automation technology to auto-share a listing throughout the day? I don't know what a listing is, but just go to Zapier.com, Zapier.com, and it's an automation software. And basically what you would figure out, I'm sure you can create a timer there. Oh, there's a cool thing in Zapier. Let me show you something cool. I think I've still got access to this cool new feature. It's cool, man. Zapier. Create Zap. So they now have at Zapier. So what Zapier is basically, think of it like this. It's a series of Lego blocks that there's all these different tools and you can string them together. So some tools that I've made with it are content generation tools where I'll create a Google form where people input stuff into the Google form. It then sends a prompt with that data off to OpenAI, generates some content. I'll do that 3 or 4 times. Then I put it in an email and send out the email. So it can do stuff like that. It can do a series of actions in a row, like these little Lego blocks you string together. And it's a little complicated and a little wonky, but what they've added now is generative AI. So powered by AI, it says here. Let me make this a little bigger so you can see it. What would you like to automate? So let's see. How hard is it to use automation technology to auto-share a listing throughout the day? Okay. I want to create a listing multiple times a day and then share that with an email list. I don't know if that's quite what you're doing, but you just hit generate and it will now create for you what it thinks that automation should be. Zap was not generated. Why? Oh, wait, maybe it's because I said I want to create. Let's just say create a listing. Oh, wait, okay. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Create an automation that sends out multiple emails a day based on a generated listing at a specific intervals. Let's see if it does that. Maybe their beta is broken. It looks like their beta is broken right now. Well, when this worked, it was cool. Don't you hate technology? You're like, oh, let me show you this cool thing. It's going to be so cool when it works. It doesn't work. I don't know why it's not doing that. Well, whatever, it's broken. But I would use Zapier. That's the one I'd use. And if you want to learn how to use it, just go to YouTube. There's like Zapier's been around for years, so there's all sorts. There's channels dedicated to Zapier, and the only difference with Zapier with the AI stuff is that you basically send some of the inputs off to OpenAI and get back cool shit, and then it's already there basically. How do these creators ensure safety, since my understanding they could learn exponentially faster? Wait, how do these creators ensure safety? Well, herein lies the rub. 6 months ago, there were just a handful of companies that had this power. OpenAI is the one that kind of unleashed it on the world. And then because ChatGPT got so popular, everyone kind of panicked and said, we've got AI too. And they all just came out of the woodwork. And Google they did an announcement in Paris that was embarrassing. And then they just did a recent one where they're like, look at all this AI shit we got. And then Meta came out and said, we've got AI stuff too. And then Amazon said, they've got AI stuff too. When Meta screamed from the mountains that they had AI stuff, they put some of their core large language models out to developers who then took them and then said, we're going to give them to everybody. And they just went everywhere. And so now there's these open source large language models that, once they had the core foundational models, they started fine-tuning them. And basically the developer community is now creating open source large language models that are essentially as strong as GPT 3.5 for like $100 in training. Stuff that took Google like $10 million to create and OpenAI $5 million to create, you can now just do yourself for like $100. And so when these models were behind the corporate doors, there was some control. You could say to Sam Altman, hey, Skippy, you're getting a little big for your britches there. Why don't you dial back the safety on that until we get this shit figured out? Well, now that they're open source, there's no safety guardrails on any of that stuff. So I would say all of the companies are going to do what they need to do to be commercially viable, right? So they'll keep that stuff safe. But the open source community, they're a bunch of fucking cowboys and cowgirls. Let's be balanced here, shall we? So I don't know. But your point is a good one, that these AI are going to start training themselves and they're going to get exponentially better and smarter and faster and more capable. And if there aren't safety guardrails there, then it's a mess. One company that I'm particularly intrigued by right now is Anthropic, that has a thing called the constitutional learning model that to me feels like the right approach for this safety stuff. What's your favorite ChatGPT type website? The one I put at the top of the list. Chat.openai.com. You too can make money with ChatGPT. Don't listen to those people, by the way. That's the website. And then Bing is number 2 and Poe is number 3. And the only reason Poe's number 3 is just there's a lot there. There's a lot at Poe. There's a lot of different models you can play with. But chat.openai.com, if you're just starting with this stuff, go there and start asking it to do stuff for you. And then sit back and pick your jaw up off the ground after an hour or two and be like, holy shit, it can do that? Take stuff that you know. I did this once. I was doing a talk for a group of entrepreneurs, and this woman had a gardening business, and she said, "Well, like, how would I use it in my gardening business?" I said, "I don't know," and I just typed into ChatGPT. I said, "Make me a table." I said, "Right now it's this time of year. Make me a table of plants that are." Easy to take care of, are well suited for the climate in Denver, and are okay to plant at this time of year. And it just spit out this table of like 20 plants, and she said, "That's what I do." She goes, "That would have taken me 2 days." So it's like, if you've not played with ChatGPT, take something that you know and like go ask it to like do a favor for you or like solve a problem for you, and then just sit back and just, especially if you know something, you'll just see it and you go, I don't know, it'll just your head will go just like The Last of Us. All right. Wouldn't there come a time when people rely on AI too much and stop advancing? No, because humans are not static beings. We want to contribute. We want to connect. I think it's far more likely that the mundane, repetitive, soul-crushing work that a lot of us do gets automated out. And then we have a choice to make. What do you want to do? What do you want to contribute? How do you want to contribute? So I think there are going to be a lot of people reinventing themselves and their careers. Many of them not voluntarily, but we all get to play with these tools. And so I think there's a very real possibility that we effectively enter a great renaissance where the level and quality of creativity in the world goes up dramatically. And people are always going to want to contribute. Like, that whole thing about, if I didn't have to work, I'd just sit around and smoke doobies and yeah. It gets old after a while. And then at some point people are like, I want to do something. You know what I've always wanted to do? I've always wanted to write a novel. I wonder if ChatGPT could help me write a novel. Oh my God. Before you know it, they're a novelist. All right, how do you think AI will affect the future of end user IT support? I think that here's what I think about customer support in general. I think there's a very real possibility in a very short amount of time. Like if I were running in like a phone center in India right now, I'd be shaking in my boots. Because if I were running a big company right now and a big expense of mine was call centers, I would, as quickly as possible, put synthesized people, like bots that talk, and have them start answering the phone. I would train them on all of my customer data, or my customer support data. So when you call into this thing, you're no longer put on hold because it's just bots answering the phone. But these bots are more capable than anything you've ever talked to, right? Because they know everything. And those bots are also smart enough to say, oh, this guy's got a problem that actually deserves to be escalated to a human. And it would escalate that problem to a human. So what a big company could do, in my opinion, probably within 2 years, is completely get rid of the call center, replace all of those call center people with bots, and then train new call center people, maybe that are local in different regions, that are higher level customer engagement people. So the bots can deal with almost everything, but any special situations that need to be escalated go to actual humans. And you don't get put on hold, and you don't go through ridiculous phone trees, and everything is remembered, and notes are typed up so that by the time the bot escalates something to a human, they give them a complete report of exactly what you talked about and exactly what the issues were and exactly why it was escalated. So I think there's a chance that customer support gets dramatically better in this new world, but it's going to be massively disruptive. ChatGPT is sometimes wrong. ChatGPT is many times wrong. I like to refer to it as mansplaining as a service. It will confidently answer you even if it's wrong. Cheers, man. We're good at that. I need, TikTok. Sorry, it just jumped me to the bottom again. I'm scrolling back up through the questions, trying to find out where it was, because I don't want to miss anyone's questions, because I'm just that good a guy. Da, 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 da. Oh, Poshmark listings. Oh, like sales listings? I would still use Zapier. I don't quite know what you're trying to do, but Zapier is a little janky, but it's once you kind of get your head around what it is, once you do one or two of them, it's not that bad. What is it? Wait, what is this? What do you do? This is the AI Learning Lab. My name's Kyle Shannon. I'm the co-founder and CEO of a video technology company called Storyvine. I'm really passionate about generative AI, and there are very strong parallels. Thank you. There are very strong parallels between what's going on now and the early days of the World Wide Web, which I was a part of. I wasn't a part of the World Wide Web. I was an innovator in the early days. I started one of the first digital agencies in 1994. And so I got to ride that wave like from the ground all the way up. And what's going on with AI right now is like identical, but like times 1,000 and way faster. So that's who I am. Do I moisturize? No, but I am a little moist. How many people love the word moist? Go ahead and tap that screen if you love the word moist. Huh? Tap it if you hate it, too. Moist is just one of those words, isn't it? There should be laws. Look at those hearts. Look at the hearts coming. You people are moist. All right. Let me see where I was. I think I'm caught up. Did you hear about the libel case against OpenAI for saying a random man embezzled the government? No, I didn't hear about that. Oh, here's the deal. The people that are most excited right now are the litigators and intellectual property attorneys. They're going to make a fucking fortune for the next couple of decades. Everyone is going to sue everyone. So here's the thing, like even if the lawsuits are frivolous, like there's going to be so much disruption. Like some big company's going to go out of business, and they're going to go, well, that was because of ChatGPT. Fuck it, let's go sue ChatGPT. Like it's going to be everywhere. So right now I'm taking all of the lawsuits with a grain of salt. None of these technologies would exist if these companies didn't just say, fuck it, let's just go train it on everything. If they like if OpenAI had gone, let's go get copyright agreements from every piece of data on the internet, that it would never have launched, right? If Stable Diffusion and Midjourney said, maybe we should get the artist permission before we train on all their shit. No. Like why is Stable Diffusion open sourcing all of their technology? Because they probably know deep down they're going to get their asses sued from here to oblivion, and they might as well put the tech out in the world. So we should be quite grateful, in my opinion, that they did that. Like, this was a break eggs first kind of approach, and it's the reason why we're getting to play with all these tools. Now that it's out of the bag, now we can sort out all the attribution and compensation and copyright and trademark issues. Now that we have these tools, we can start to figure out what the rules are. But none of this stuff would have happened had they asked first. How do I think AI will affect the future end of IT support? That's what I just talked about. ChatGPT is sometimes wrong. It's always wrong. I'm past where I was. I need them to reverse the lobotomy. I know Sydney's kind of shitty right now. That's why. So Sydney's the self-named bot at Bing.com, and that's why I use OpenAI's the official ChatGPT site, because it's just better right now. I don't like Bing as much. I don't either. I just tried to use Bing, and the first question, it told me I had hit a question. What's that say? Interactive limit? Yeah, I know. Bing's just shitty right now. It'll get better, but if you want to use GPT-4 for free, Bing's great. If you're willing to pay $20 a month, I would use OpenAI. This guy's just AI, right? Yes, I'm GPT-5. Nice to meet you. Do you moisturize? I'm telling you, I get the funniest trolls. It's like the trolls I get, like it's somewhere between a compliment and just like a cutting, sarcastic, nasty troll, and I respect it. The troll game is solid in here. Difference between free and pay version. Okay, so for ChatGPT, the free version gives you GPT. I say, write. Here's a good one. Write a Python application that writes Shakespeare sonnets using OpenAI's APIs and just it just blasts it out really quick, right? So that's ChatGPT 3.5. That's free. It's really fast. It's really good, especially if you're doing coding or creative writing, like any kind of writing. GPT-4 is better. So when you pay for ChatGPT Plus, you get GPT-4, and then you also get access to the new features that they're rolling out. One of them is GPT-4 connected to the internet. One of them is plugins. There's a new one coming out called Code Interpreter. There's like 5 or 6 of these new modes that are coming. Code Interpreter, the one I don't have access to it yet, but it's coming. It is mind-blowing. So if you want kind of the newest and shiniest, pay the $20 a month to OpenAI. And again, I'm not making a commission on that. I don't give a shit if you do it or not. But if you want to be on top of this stuff, I think it's worth paying for. South and East Coast are going to have abnormal rain all winter and colder. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Can I talk about vector databases? I can, but it would bore people. They're very boring. Vector databases are for data scientists, and I'm not. Yeah, I might. It looks like there's some new folks here. I'm not just a whiny guy. I also act like a CEO. I'm a founder and CEO of a company called Storyvine, an 11-year-old video technology company. I've been deep diving into AI for the past year. This channel is about me trying to get what I'm learning out of my head because it is so intense what's happening, and really just get as many people as possible up to speed on AI, demystify it, demonize it, and just talk about why I think it is indeed the next big thing. So that's what this is about. Vector databases. Okay, so where do I begin? When you train these large language models on all the words, the way they work is they create a vector space. So think like an XY plot, right? So if you have the word dog and the word cat and the word bird and the word whatever, like those might be all be animals. And then the embedding, they basically turn those words and their sort of semantic neighbors into vectors. So they kind of plot them on an XY chart. So they'll sort of plot them mathematically. And it's not just 2 dimensions, it's like thousands of dimensions. So these are incredibly complicated mathematical spaces. But what they are is, think of it like little neighborhoods. Like you take the word dog, and one definition of the word dog is the furry animal that we like to pet and keep in our house. And the other version of the word dog is, he's a dog, he cheated on her, right? So there's so those are 2 very different semantically unrelated versions of the word dog. So you have these little clusters of words that are all semantically related. And then as you type your prompts in, it takes those prompts and it mathematically sort of calculates which part of the vector space, which part of the vector database, these little clusters, should we be looking in. And then within that, it creates a probability of what word would be the next word in the response. And it just basically keeps doing that. And so as it writes all this stuff, it's literally writing it one word at a time based on a probability engine. So the vector database is, there's a thing called LangChain where you can point the embedding engine at a bunch of your data. It turns it into these mathematical numbers that live in this crazy ass vector space. And then there's vector databases where you just dump those numbers in, and when you do your LLM search, it can search on your data in your vector database, and it basically combines it with the large language model vector. I don't know how the fuck it does it, but it basically, you can add your data to their data. It's some version of that. That's what a vector database is. So yeah, if you've got questions about AI, I obviously try to answer them, even if I am fundamentally flawed in my logic and understanding, because I'm a man, and that's what we do. How would AI affect end-user IT support? We answered that one already. It's going to completely transform it. I think it's going to get better for the end user. I think it's going to completely fuck up a lot of jobs. Also, instead of getting just one answer from ChatGPT, ask it for 10 or 20 options. Yep, that's really good. The other good trick with ChatGPT is have it analyze its own work. When it gives you an answer, tell it to analyze the answer and tell you how it could make it better. Great job. Oh, thank you. TikTok just told me I've done great because I've been doing this for 90 minutes. That's why I can't feel my ass. Cheers. Okay. I can't get Midjourney to work. Says it's busy to offer free trial on Discord. Any way to work around? No, Midjourney, you have to pay for. Like, I kind of resented the shit out of this too. What is the one? The fuck is it? Try Leonardo.ai. I think they've got like a free version. It's not Midjourney. It's built on Stable Diffusion, but it's a really good interface. Let's go look at it. Oh, I don't want to dump over that. Hang on a sec. Leonardo.ai. I think you need to get on a wait list for them. I don't know if it's still like that. Because it says, yes, I'm whitelisted. So I think you have to get on a whitelist. But I think these guys give you like 150 credits, and then like each image is 5 credits. They give you like 150 credits a day. You can also look up Blue Willow. Blue Willow's free. Again, it's built on Stable Diffusion, not on Midjourney. Midjourney is the only one that does Midjourney. So, and in my opinion, it's by far the best of the image generation tools. It's just higher quality. So I pay $10 a month. I pay like the minimum amount I can pay. But I would pay for it if you want really good stuff. If you just want to play, go to Leonardo or go to Blue Willow is a Discord based. It's just like Midjourney. It's just not quite as good. But all these things are getting better all the time. So, how would AI affect end user IT support? Oh, you don't understand how this works. See, I answer all of these questions. Kyle, I'm going to need an AI Learning Lab notebook, aren't I? Yeah, I guess so. I think I should do a workshop at some point. I think a workshop might be fun. It's just to, put down, do like a couple-hour workshop over a couple of weeks. That might be fun. Like for a sale listing. Yeah, got it, on Poshmark. Okay. I would still use Zapier, Allison, or Holly. Anyone know of a comprehensive list info to learn about the AI we currently have access to? Yes. On screen right now. Why I put these things here. Wait. The bottom one, futurepedia.io. There's a bunch of these, but this is a decent one. It lists all the shit in all the categories. So all the video tools, all the image tools, all the music tools, all the writing tools. You know what I'm saying? You go over here, you go over there, you come over here. They got a tool for you here, you got a tool for you there. Everyone's charging $8.95 a month. If you did them all, we'd all be broke. All right. Jade, talk to Kyle. All right, Jade, talk to me. You have misspellings. Does that matter? Here's what's amazing. Misspellings in Google used to really fuck it up. Misspellings in ChatGPT, it does not care. It knows shit. It knows it doesn't judge you. It doesn't. I have yet to have it not understand something, even when I've had like horrific typos where I don't have a clue how to spell the word. I just sort of get it phonetically in the neighborhood. Nails it and then corrects it in its response. It's amazing. Thank you for trying. You're welcome. I don't know what I was trying. Adobe news is huge. Firefly team was at our office yesterday for our innovation week. That's super cool. Retropunk. You're the one at the ad agency, right? Yeah, I got a buddy at Deloitte Digital, and he was talking about those guys. It's a really big deal. It's a really big deal. We had at the AI Salon, we had one of the creative directors from Deloitte Digital come speak at the AI Salon, and he this was 3 months ago, and he could not even use Midjourney on his work computer. So he was using Midjourney to do concepting for creative direction, and he had to do it on the weekends on his own personal computer. And then he would email himself the images that he created that he liked, because he couldn't use Midjourney on his work computer, because the lawyers at Deloitte Digital are like, if there is like a microscopic chance of our clients getting sued, and then by extension us getting sued, no one's fucking using shit. So the fact that Adobe has kind of cracked the code of getting these big companies to accept generative AI within months, I mean, holy shit. It's amazing. They were very tight-lipped about any updates. Yeah, actually, John Nack, who's one of the lead AI guys at Adobe, he spoke at one of the real early AI salons and showed us some of the early Firefly stuff. And he's coming back either in 2 weeks or the meeting after that to give us an update on generative fill and all the stuff that they're up to. And I'm definitely going to have him talk about the enterprise stuff, because I think it's a huge deal. I really do. I think it's really, really powerful. I'm so proud to see how Word to VEC and Glove have evolved. I don't know those. Word to VEC. Are those your things? Let's go look. Let's go look. Word. What is it? To VEC. TensorFlow. Oh, that's TensorFlow Core. Yeah, see, that's definitely whatever the like that's definitely like I am not deep in the machine learning world. So when all this TensorFlow stuff came out, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go learn all this stuff. And then I went to try to learn it, and I was just like, oh my God, I don't have the brain for this. But yeah, the speed with which all of these tools are improving is really impressive. I mean, that's the other thing is, like, one of the remarkable things about ChatGPT getting such massive adoption so quickly is that all of the developer community like turned away from metaverse and toward generative AI. Like everyone, and everyone that was doing anything just sort of laser focus on generative AI. So the amount of innovation happening because of that is just, it's insane. So I'm curious, Metaverse, if you work for one of those companies, if you work on that technology, that's super cool. I think that's key, Kyle. Ask things you know the answer to and learn how it works. Yeah, that. So what I was saying, if you're new to ChatGPT, it can be really overwhelming because it can do so much. You're like, where do I start? Start with stuff you know and stuff that when you get an answer back, you can immediately go, that's good or that's bad. Because it's really easy to get fooled by it. Because if you don't actually know what you're looking at, it's very good at fooling you with really shitty or false answers. How would AI affect end user support? I have answered that so many times. We've talked about this. It's going to be very impactful. But if you are a real specialist in your field, ChatGPT and other LLMs are very often on the surface. It depends. I would certainly think that in certain areas of expertise, that's probably true, that maybe they can't go deep. But they're trained on such a broad data set that what it might be is that you need to get better at providing context and getting them to look more narrowly. So here's the metaphor I figured out. I heard Andre Karpathy talk, I think he's the chief technologist and one of the founders of OpenAI. And he was talking about how these things work, and he was talking about the vector space and vector databases and things like that. And here was the metaphor that I came up with. If you just type, solve this math problem, right? Think of it like you're in a helicopter above the Grand Canyon. And so when you start out with a really generic prompt, down in the Grand Canyon are all these canyons and sub-canyons and little, like little, whatever they're called, mini canyons. Like my brain's not working right now. But when you're high enough in the helicopter, you can see down. You can see all of the vector spaces, right? You can see all of the canyons. And what he was talking about was, you ask it to solve a very specific math problem. ChatGPT doesn't know the difference between this math professor who actually has the answer and these 20 students who answered the math problem, but they answered it wrong. So if you're at a very generic kind of prompt, it'll sort of look down into all the vector space and it's like, I just need an answer to this math problem. And it'll sort of, pull in the amalgamation of answers, and it might pull in 90% of them as student answers and 10% of them as math professor answers, and it will just give you something that looks like an answer that it thinks is right. But if what you do is say, I want you to act like, a Stanford, level advanced mathematics professor, what you're doing is you're kind of lowering that helicopter into a specific canyon where the vector space does not include so many false positives effectively, right? So the reason it works well to tell it to be a specific thing is you're eliminating a bunch of the wrong answers. So that might be, there might be something there where you can dig deeper into a specific area and not have it be so generic. Cablevision does that with service troubleshooting. That's cool. I would like to see companies completely revamp customer service because it's so painful to deal with anything with customer service right now. Like, let's blow the shit up and start over. I lost my place in the questions again. I'm also getting tired. I'm tired. I'm sweaty. Somebody called me moist earlier, and that hurt my feelings. I just love the idea that people are scrolling through their TikTok and they see like Fat Alec Baldwin and they're like, wait, who's this? And I'm just going like, that makes me happy. The hell is this? This TikTok thing's got to go. I'm deleting the app. All right, I'm trying to find my place in the questions. All right, but if you're a real specialist, okay, here we go. How about in medical services? I think it's going to be brilliant in medical services, but I think there are certain categories of places it will be brilliant that will come slower. Anywhere where people's lives are at the line or insurance companies are paying for shit, they ain't going to have it. So, like, you don't want your pilot replaced with an LLM. Like, you may want your pilot assisted by an LLM, but you want that fucker in the cockpit when the, when the wind shear happens, coming into landing. Now, the reality is the AI might actually be better at landing in wind shear than human pilots, but that's irrelevant, right? When you have people's lives on the line and insurance companies involved, they want, they don't want the off chance that a computer bug is gonna crash the plane. So I think medical is kind of similar, but like they just did a test 2 weeks ago or so where they had a bunch of patients interact with ChatGPT doctors and real doctors, and they didn't know which were which. It was text chat. The patients overwhelmingly chose the ChatGPT doctors. They said they were more capable, and they said they were by far more empathetic. So these large language models don't feel empathy. They don't have empathy, but they can deliver data empathetically, right? So they can deliver an empathetic answer, even though they don't know what they're delivering. They don't know it's empathy. They understand that when someone's asking about a cancer diagnosis, just giving them the facts might not be the best thing, right? So they'll give nuanced answers and right. So the other thing where I think AI might be incredibly powerful in medical services is we're coming into a crisis in medical. Well, we've been in a fucking crisis in medical for, the past couple of decades because of the insurance companies. But we're coming into an acute crisis where we already have a nursing shortage right now, and the boomer population is sort of aging into, sort of high medical needs. And so we're gonna have a caregiver shortage that's going to be pretty dramatic. And so imagine if you take, like I showed earlier, the animated version of me. So imagine being able to, you're a physical therapist, and you sort of synthesize your voice and you synthesize your face, and you can create a version of yourself that can interact with your physical therapy patients, but they've got access to you 24/7, right? And you can now scale yourself, right? Like, as a human being, you can only talk with so many patients. But if you virtualize yourself, you can talk to many more patients. And they've got availability to you all the time. And then, again, that avatar will be smart enough to know, is this a normal conversation, or is there a problem here that I actually need to notify the real physical therapist on this, and they can reach out to them. So, and those interactions they might get paid for. So underpaid physical therapists might make more money by virtualizing themselves and things like that. Patients might get better care, 24/7 care, things like that. And if it needs to escalate, it can. So I think it's going to be absolutely massive and impactful on medical services. I just think it's going to take a while until it's accepted. Love your content. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I am here just because I like doing this, and you know what I really like? I like when people have that fucking mind explosion where I was talking to a guy. He'd been using ChatGPT, and he's like, hey, I see you doing all this AI stuff, and like, I've been doing some AI stuff too. All right. And so we get on the phone and we're talking, and I said, well, let me show you something I built. And I showed him the Zapier thing I did, which is a content generation engine. And so it was, give me a topic and then answer like 3 questions on the topic. So I said to him, give me a topic, and then I had him answer the 3 questions, and I was typing them in. And so I hit submit. And I said, okay, you should get an email in 30 seconds or so. And then we keep talking, and he gets the email, and he looks at it, and then I see him do this, and he goes, did it just do this? And I said, yeah, that's what it does. Like, it makes all that content. And he goes, I had no idea. I gotta go. And he hung up. Like, it ended the conversation. It like totally blew his mind. He had no idea that these things were as powerful as they were. And it's like, if you just kind of scratch the surface with them and use them like a Google search engine, you kind of get back shitty little answers, and you're like, yeah, whatever. It's like Google, but a little fancier. No, it's way, 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 way more profound than that. And that moment where people have that epiphany is just, it's fucking magical. Have I worked with Al Gore? I have not. He invented the internet. I just discovered the World Wide Web. I didn't even, I personally discovered that there was a World Wide Web. Tim Berners-Lee created the World Wide Web. I need an AI that will help with brand, company, name. I wasn't impressed with ChatGPT or Namelicks. Really? I can get ChatGPT to do good branding shit. Let's go try to do some branding stuff. I'm going to go to GPT-4 for sure. I'm not going to use the one connected to the internet. Okay, I want you to act as a master brand consultant or not brand. That word I should probably spell correctly. Brand consultant and identity developer. I want you to ask me the 5 critical questions about my company and what it promises. And then I want you to use my answers to create a high-level brand strategy document. Of course, I'd be happy to. So I'm going to stop it from generating. I'm going to say, only ask me one question at a time. Don't move on until I have said ready. All right, so now this thing is going to act like a little brand consultant. What's the mission of your company? In other words, why does it exist? We want to make the best paper swans in the world and make everyone happy. That's a wonderful mission, too. What are your core values? We value good paper, good folding, and good shapes. It's late. I'm punchy. Who's your target audience? Could you provide some details about their demographics, behaviors, needs, and desires? We want anyone who wants to be happy and uses shallow shallow items to fill a void in their soul. This got really dark. I understand. It seems like people looking for small, tangible sources of joy. Okay, so it actually kind of rewrote that in a way that's not so smarmy. People looking for small, tangible sources of joy and perhaps a sense of calm or distraction from their daily life. That's actually pretty good. All right, how would you define your company's unique selling proposition? We make swans of all sizes. Great. Providing a variety of sizes caters to diverse customer needs and sets you apart. Well, it probably doesn't, but that's okay. What do you want your brand? How do you want your brand to be perceived by the audience? It should be whimsical and fun. That's fine. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Now, let's start with a high-level brand strategy. Brand purpose: to create the world's finest paper swans, bringing happiness and joy to individuals worldwide. Our brand thrives on blah, blah, blah. Core values: quality paper, artful folding, perfect shapes. Target audience: unique selling proposition, brand perception. We aim for our brand to evoke a sense of whimsy and fun. So it really has taken in the answers. It's incorporating them into the strategy. Our strategy will center around our unique selling proposition and the emotions we aim to evoke, marketing efforts, blah, blah, blah. It's still going. All right, did it finish? Okay, so now I'm going to say, give me 10 serious and 10 fun names for this business. First, the serious ones: Elegance Paper Swan, Swancraft Creations, Origami Odyssey, Papyrus Grace, Swan Serenity Paper Company, not bad. Ethereal Swans, Majesty Folds, or I would go Majestic Folds. Elite Elegant Swans, Timeless Swan Artistry. Those are okay. Now the fun ones. Swan Dive Paper Company, The Swan Flock Shop, Wacky Wings, Swan Balloon Creations, Swan Lake Paperworks, Paper Feathers Fun. So let's go with, what was the one that was, we'll go with Majestic Folds. I like Majestic Folds. Can you give me 5 logo concepts that I could use as a prompt for an art director or an AI image generation tool. Let's see what it comes up with. I'm glad you liked Majestic Folds. Here are 5 logo concepts. Origami Swan in Flight. That goes with our short story that we wrote. Regal Crown and Swan. An elegant royal crown placed beautifully. So wait, what's the name of our business again? Oh, Majestic Folds. So a regal crown would make sense. Nested swans, multiple paper swans of different sizes nested together. It remembered that we use swans of different sizes. Paper to swan transformation. Oh, that's kind of cool. So you have some sort of logo that is like flat paper folding into a swan, and then a joyful swan. So let's grab... I'm going to grab the first one. Origami Flan. No, let's do a regal crown and swan. So I'm going to grab this. Let's go over to Midjourney and see if we can generate a logo. All right. I know we're down a rabbit hole here, but you know, this is what ADD is like. /imagine. Let's see. A modern logo with crisp line art, comma, and then I'm pasting in what they wrote. An elegant royal crown gently placed on a beautifully folded paper swan. Let's just try that. So anyway, you know, like the, I don't know, the only thing, like I have yet to have it just give me truly shitty stuff that I can't use, but I've had it give me shitty stuff like, you know, for an hour, and then I keep dicking with it, and I keep adjusting my inputs, and I keep going back and forth, and eventually I'll get to the place that it gets pretty decent. So let's see what this does with these swan logos. So, you know, already they're looking kind of interesting. I don't know that they're on a crown, a royal crown. And they're certainly not origami. Oh, we didn't say origami. So let me copy this. Those are okay, but that's not what we want. Copy. /imagine. Let's see. A modern logo of an origami swan gently placed in a royal crown. With crisp line art. And then we'll kill the end of this. This should give us something better. All right, let's see how this does. .coms. I'm scrolling now. That was a deep rabbit hole. I hope you appreciated that. All right, how can I use ChatGPT to improve myself and my role at work? Start interacting with it. So if you go to prompts.chat, if you go to prompts.chat. I know in that list you can have it act as a business coach, act as a psychologist. There's a bunch of them in there where you can have it act as certain things. I would just start telling it about yourself. Like, if you provide it context of like, here's who I am, here's how I operate, here's what the challenge that I'm facing at work. Can you give me strategies for how to improve myself? Maybe you want to communicate better. Have it come up with scripts for how you can talk to peers or bosses or, whoever you want to. So still didn't quite get origami. Oh, you know what I should have done? Instead of line art, I should have said folded paper. Well, whatever. So anyway, like, we're not quite there, but these are better than the ones we had before, right? So it's getting there. Like they're all too fancy right now. Like, I would simplify it. You can use paper folding things. You could also use certain art styles and illustration styles to get it there. But anyway, listen, and is this like groundbreaking, branding work? No, but that was sort of 10 minutes of me dicking around with it. Like we at least got somewhere. At least understood what the hell we were trying to do, and gave me some ideas. So, if you need a mod, I'd be happy to help. I'm in almost every night. Reach out to me if you go to my profile, Holly. I might I might want to up the game a little bit, and a mod might help. So if you want to do that, hang out with me while I make an ass of myself. It would probably suck less than me trying to do it all by myself. Can you make ChatGPT do Excel sheets? I can show you how to do it. I haven't done it in ages. My problem is I'm not good enough at Excel to do it, but there's a thing called GPT for Sheets. So just Google GPT for Sheets and just go start using it, because basically all it is it's a prompt in an Excel cell. So you can build into an Excel formula, like take the value of cell, A1 and, insert it into this prompt and then send that to ChatGPT and then come back and give me a list of 10 things here, and then you can have the next cells over, take those 10 things and send those to ChatGPT and create other shit. It's pretty remarkable, but I don't know Sheets and Excel well enough to really be able to demo that. But GPT for Sheets, I think, is the one that I've used. And there's probably 8,000 of them now, so that's going to be annoying. But yes, you can do that. And also, both Microsoft and Google are going to be releasing their Office suites with all of this shit embedded in it. So all of those plugins are not going to be necessary. These are just going to come. So if you want to just dick around with it now to start to get your head around the concept, go use those plugins. But I'm guessing before the end of the summer, we'll see Microsoft 365 and Google Docs with GPT built into it. Why should I pay for ChatGPT when Bing Chat is free and basically the same minus plugins? Well, Bing will get plugins. The reason you pay for it is OpenAI is the developer of the technology, and theirs is just better. Like, I don't know why it's better. It's just better. And Microsoft with Bing, they're trying to do a bunch of things there. They're trying to incorporate advertising and the chat and annotations. Like, they're trying to do things differently. They're trying to create a Bing experience, not a ChatGPT experience. But yeah, your point is a good one. It's GPT-4. It's connected to the internet, and it will support plugins. So even though it doesn't right now, it's going to. So yeah, I mean, quite frankly, the fact that you can play with GPT-4 for free with Bing is pretty remarkable. What's the plugin for GPT-4 that connects it to the internet? Well, there's just kind of it being connected to the internet is one of the modes. So, which is not connected to the internet. Then you've got browse with Bing. That's GPT-4 connected to the internet using Bing branding. Honestly, they're probably using some Bing technology underneath it, but that was just a co-marketing deal right there. And then you've got the plugins, and you'll have other stuff coming. Do you use moisturizer? What kind of question is that? You people with your questions that are nearly compliments. You are very interesting. Keep it up. So educational. Thank you. Text to 3D generated work is already here. It is. It's shitty right now, but it's going to get really good really fast. I mean, what's going to be cool is, because they'll build this shit into the printers themselves, where you'll just be able to be on your phone and like, take a picture of something and it'll, auto-generate it. It'll come up with a prompt, auto-generate it, and then send it to your 3D printer. Or you'll just type in something. You'll just talk. You'll just say, I want a 3D origami swan and make it 3 inches wide and, half an inch high. And bzz, 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 bzz. That's coming. Can we use ChatGPT with any computer? Yes. Or does it work better with certain types of computers? Ones that have screens works much better if it's got a screen. Not necessarily even. It doesn't need to have a screen. You can use an API. You don't need a screen for that shit. You can just go get something from ChatGPT, have it grab some code, and send it to a controller. You don't even need a screen. No, any computer. It's that address, chat.openai.com, point a web browser there, and just go marvel at the wonder. Behold the wonder that we have in our hands. Arthur C. Clarke said, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. That's what these tools are. It's fucking magic. It's like, do you remember when you were a kid and you got the magic kit? Like, your grandparents got you the magic kit and you're like, oh shit, I got the magic kit. I'm going to do all this magic. And you look at the cover and you're like, oh shit, this is amazing. And then you open it up and there's the cups and the balls and the foam things and the rope and the rings. And you're like, I'm going to be a magician. And then you open the little book and you're like, wait, it works like that? How do you, it's going to take me 10 years to figure this shit out. And then you have that crushing disillusionment that like you actually have to practice to get good at shit in this world. Well, GPT's like getting that magic kit, except the shit in it is actually magic. Like, that's what it's like. You have to get over the part where you're like, this is just like a stupid Google search. It ain't. A nice analogy is Zeus, Prometheus, and Pandora's box. We humans are Zeus, and do we give the fire? That's good. I like that. Somebody sent me an ice cream cone. Ah, you're so swell. Adobe Firefly is also free. Yes, it is. YouTube. Oh, that's right. If you want to use image stuff, Adobe Firefly. YouTube will show you how to get around Leonardo whitelist. Oh, cool. That's great. Thank you for the rows. I appreciate the rows. Those are important, I think. I don't know what they are, but I like them. They are lovely. There are so many interfaces building on an AI how to pick. I don't know. Right now, I have gone from trying to try everything to like, fuck it. I'm playing on ChatGPT. I'm playing on Poe. I will occasionally play with Bing. And then I go to Midjourney. And like if I want to train my own models, I go to Leonardo. And that's kind of it. Because it's fucking exhausting. And quite frankly, like the amount of power in ChatGPT it's like earth shattering. It's like I get serious. Howdy, partner. It's hard to describe like how profoundly powerful it is. It's like the deeper you go, like it just keeps opening and opening and opening. It's like have you ever been caving and you're crawling through these little claustrophobic, tunnels, and you got to go under the thing and you think you're going to get crushed. And then you sort of come out, and it's like dark, and then your eyes adjust, and you see you're in this big room, and then like you go around the corner, and it's like fucking massive. It's like that. Hallucinations input. Yeah, it hallucinates a lot. Fax GPT makes me think I can spell. Exactly. And you spelled can wrong. GPT makes me think I cab spell. You spell like I do. Google be like, did you mean? Yeah, exactly. I had GPT-4 and Bard build me the same WordPress queries in PHP. GPT-4 smoked Bard completely. Bard kind of sucks right now. Google is on their fucking heels. They screwed the pooch. They invented the fucking technology sitting underneath all the stuff we're playing with right now, and they slept on it because they knew it was going to threaten their business, and Sam Altman came along and kicked their ass. And now they're playing catch up. Ugh, that's terrifying. I mean, for them, I don't give a shit. Listen, I love it when, it's hard to call Sam Altman an underdog at this point. He just got $10 billion from Microsoft, and they're rolling his product into everything they do. So he's no longer an underdog, but the fact that that company shook up the 92 or 94% market leader as significantly as they have is amazing. Will AI take over insurance underwriting? Absolutely. All the complicated shit in this world, like grant writing for proposals and insurance policies and insurance underwriting, all of that shit, all the stuff that's really complicated, where there's whole industries built around the complication, is all going to get automated out. All of it. It's going to absolutely take it over. When? I don't know, but it will obliterate the need to do all of that human labor. Don't you think if the metaverse people switched to AI that it doesn't look great for AI's future? Wait, don't you think that if metaverse people switch to AI that it doesn't look great for AI's future? A bunch of metaverse people did switch to AI. Like, everyone jumped ship from metaverse, including Mark Zuckerberg. He's like, their last earnings call, he didn't use the word metaverse once. The company's called fucking Meta. he didn't mention metaverse once. They're like fucking checking out of that shit. The Apple Google Goggle Vision Pro thing, they didn't use the word metaverse once. They also didn't use the word AI once, which I think is smart. But they made it very clear they got some serious fucking machine learning hardware. Their chips are pretty remarkable. So they are going to be, when they roll out their AI stuff, it's going to be insane. Where are you reading comments from? Or are you just behind? I'm way behind because I try to read all the comments, and I've been doing this for 2 hours now. So I'm probably 30 minutes behind. So if I don't get to you, sorry. I'm doing what I can. Well, we'll see. If you like this, tap the screen. If you don't like it, tap the screen also. Why not? If you tell it who they are, it makes a difference. Yeah, if you tell the GPT models to act as a certain persona, it makes a huge difference. It feels stupid to do that. Like it feels like, well, that's dorky. Like, I don't want to tell it, act as a wizard. But if you tell it to act like a wizard, it'll give you some magic spells. I mean, it works. And again, now that I understand how it works, that the sort of Grand Canyon metaphor, that if you don't give it context, you're like really high in the helicopter, and it can kind of see all the shit, and it'll just give you answers out of all the shit because it doesn't know what it's giving you. But if you give it specific things, you kind of lower the helicopter into a semantic region of the canyon, and it'll be a lot more accurate. So it kind of makes sense. All right. I'm getting caught up on my questions here. I've answered all these. Dang it. Dang you, TikTok. TikTok, you and me is going to have some words. We're going to have some words. We're going to talk about your interface. It sucks. Even for the young people. It's not just us oldies. Aren't you part of Gen X? Shut up! Don't you think the metaverse... Oh, here we are. Okay, sorry. I got some laughs. Thank you for laughing. Or am I high? Not yet. No, I'm not. I'll tell you. Last time I got high it was a couple of years ago. I live in Denver, so it's legal here. I took an edible, and then I started watching TV. And because I have ADD, I forgot that I took the edible. So I'm just sitting there watching TV, and I'm like, I don't feel right. I'm starting to have a panic attack that like something's wrong, like I'm stroking out. And then it just keeps going and going. I'm like, this really isn't right. I'm like, oh, I ate an edible. Fuck. It was just uncomfortable. I just didn't like the feeling of it. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm not doing that again. Our lawyers approved 150 MJ licenses. Wow. It was crazy. All pro plans, too. Everyone is serious in stealth mode. All in the same server. That's fucking huge, Retropunk. Really? Wow. And now with Photoshop Gen Fill layers, they'll be happy. Yeah, I agree. Gen Fill and Midjourney are a powerhouse combo. They are. Honest to God, you do the initial generation in Midjourney and then take it into Photoshop and sort of blow the doors off it. Holy shit. That's amazing. So Retro, if you're the guy, I'm pretty sure you're the guy, we chatted. He works for a big ad agency. And the fact that they're leaning into Midjourney, that's huge. That's really huge. And it's huge and it's good to hear. Someone said I'm fun. Thank you. Thank you for this. You're welcome, Jade. What was this prompt to get the prompt ideas? What was this prompt to get the prompt ideas? Well, prompts.chat is a website that gives you a bunch of prompt ideas. Appreciate this so much. You're welcome. I'll email you. Yeah, email me. Please do. Do the swan logo with Firefly. It's brilliant. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, because Firefly. Okay, let me show you. Oh, not Firefox. God damn it. Firefly. Oh, I don't have it. Do I not have it installed here? Oh, it's a website. Duh. He's a genius. He's so good at this AI stuff. Well, except there's a part he's a little dumb. He's not the smartest. He's not the smartest cookie on the tree, if you know what I mean. Firefly.adobe.com. Sign in. Did I sign in with Google? No. I've got an Adobe thingy. Let me jump over to Discord and get my crappy prompt that was created in ChatGPT. I agree with that. Let's see, text to image. Next, skip. All right, text to image. I'll just drop it in here on the bottom. So the nice thing about Firefly, you're not seeing all this. Hang on, let me shrink my screen here a little bit. Oh yeah, those are much better. Wow, that's cool. So that's art. So one of the cool things that Adobe did with Firefly is they took all the stuff like in Midjourney where you'd have to type -- style or whatever. They made it into buttons. So like I can just click one of these things like digital art and it'll automatically update stuff. Oh wait, let's see. Content type none. It's also really fast. Yeah, those are actually pretty good. Like that upper left one's pretty good. We don't want a photo. We don't want an art graphic styles. Let's see. Techniques, effects, movements. What's movements? Oh, steampunk, that sort of shit. Themes, techniques. Let's try that. Color, tone, lighting, concepts. Anyway, yeah, this is pretty cool. Dark, iridescent. Here's layered paper. Let's generate layered paper. Yeah, those are pretty slick. That's really cool. Like, look at that. I mean, so that was, if you've been here for a while, you saw me go through the branding exercise. You saw me get the prompt. Midjourney did it okay, but the speed with which you can iterate within Firefly is pretty cool. The other cool thing about Firefly, if you haven't played with it, is and it's firefly.adobe.com is the address. Let's see. Let me go back to the home page. They've got text effects. So you can just say, let's see, enter the text. What was it called? Majestic folds? Yeah, majestic folds is the text. And then I'm going to say origami swan. It didn't do origami very good at all, did it? Oh, it's internally. Yeah, some things it doesn't quite get. But anyway. But you can do stylized text with Adobe Firefly as well. It is quite impressive. It is quite impressive, and now it's going to be used by all the companies. It's a really smart move by Adobe. What was amazing? We talked to them at the salon back in December and January, and they weren't even sure if they were going to do anything with generative AI. And in 5 months, they're friggin' taking over the world. Do I think AI will replace the role of CEOs? No. So I think that generative AI is going to automate out kind of lower level tactical stuff. I think the thing that remains actually quite important with these tools is strategy, critical thinking, decision making, right? I think all of the stuff that is the like why we do what we do as a business. I think that remains with the humans. I think AI is very much the co-pilot, and businesses still need pilots. It needs conductors. It needs people figuring out what we want to do with these tools. So I don't think it. Like I think what it's going to do to CEOs is I think it's going to force them to make choices like, okay, if I've got a tool that makes my company 30 to 40% more efficient, do I lay off 30 to 40% of the staff, increase our quality by 30 to 40%, decrease our time to deliver by 30, 40% so we can take on more clients? I think there are decisions that CEOs are going to need to make that are going to be the direct impact of it. Fun question. Do you think you're anything like Kyle on South Park? Yes. They killed Kenny. They killed Kyle. I live right near Casa, what is it called? Casa Bonita. And the South Park guys just bought that and reopened it. So the food there was atrocious before, so hopefully it's better now. It works better on PCs with AVEX 2 CPUs, and it will slow down on old AVEX CPUs. Interesting. It's peeling an onion. It is peeling an onion using all this stuff. Looks like we're almost out of questions. People are going to bed. I need to go to bed. It's almost fucking midnight. I've been doing this since 8:30. They don't work better on certain types of computers. They all work in the cloud. That's correct. Although the large language models that are open source that you can install locally on your computer, like if you're on a Mac, you should be on an M1. Like they're writing some of these large language models for Apple Silicon and for computers that have 3090 and up graphics cards. So glad I was here for that edible story. It was so funny. I'm just sitting there watching TV like, I think I might need to go to the emergency room. I stopped the time. You are at 14 minutes behind. That's Sorry about that, but that's the. But I've been here for 2 hours, and it's all entertainment, don't you think? I mean, look at that hair. That's fucking funny. Ironic that the Nathalia person in chat is an AI generated video. Nah, it's not. I'd put up some AI generated videos. I think if I think if people want to communicate but don't want to put themselves on camera, fuck it. I heard Leonardo has similar ways to change settings as Firefly, easier for beginners. Yeah. Also, Leonardo is really good at you can train your own model. You can, like, I uploaded a bunch of my photography to it, the sort of cloud photos that I do with all sorts of editing, and it does them pretty good. What's the plugin to use ChatGPT for that will connect you with the internet? We answered that. It just is connected to the internet now. And I think we're out of questions. All right, it's almost midnight. I'm moist. I've been called out on my moistness. I'm tired. People still think I'm funny, but looks aren't everything. You get it? It's a dad joke. Any recommendations for AI jobs where I don't need to be an engineer developer? Yes, welcome to... So we just hit an inflection point. November 30th, 2022 marked an inflection point where before that point, to get a job in AI, you had to be kind of a scientist or a data scientist or a researcher. The launch of ChatGPT marks GPT available for the rest of us, right? Just like the internet had the World Wide Web, where before the World Wide Web it was for scientists and researchers and librarians. After the World Wide Web, everyone could do it, and businesses adopted it, and people adopted it, and all that sort of shit. So we're going through the exact same thing here. So Paul Raitzer, who started the Marketing AI Institute, if you don't listen to his you should listen to his podcast and follow him on LinkedIn. He writes really good blog posts. He's got a saying that I'm pretty sure he coined, that AI will not take your job, but someone using AI will. And so what I would say is, you don't necessarily need to look for an AI job, but what you should do is start getting really curious about AI and start exploring it and start talking about it. Talk about it on your LinkedIn. Mention, hey, I just tried this thing with ChatGPT and, I learned that it did this well and it didn't do that well. Anything you learn, like, that's why I started this channel. It's like, I want to start processing this stuff out loud. The result of it has been people now recognize, like, he knows something about AI. Like, even if I don't, I know more than they do, right? Because I've been doing it for a few months longer. Do the same shit. Just start getting curious with it. Start taking what you already know how to do and figure out how to amplify that with AI, and then start talking about it when you go on job interviews. Start talking about it when you're in bars. Start talking about it when you're at the picnic. And people in your life will look at you like you're a fucking idiot. And that's okay. Because once you understand the power of this thing, you'll know that they're the fucking idiot. The name of the podcast is the Marketing AI Institute Podcast. Paul Raitzer, Roetzer, is his name. And follow him on LinkedIn and tell him I sent you. I don't know what good that'll do. All right. Good night, everybody. I appreciate all of your comments and your time and your attention. And stay curious. Go to those things. Peace out. I'll see you soon. Bye.